The book of Jonah is one of my favorite Old Testament books. It was probably written around the year 725 during the reign of King Jeroboam II. And it's a book that is completely upside down. The first part is that the prophet of the Lord runs away from God, but it's the pagans who are on the boat who actually worship God. And then the prophet of the Lord is spat out onto the land that he had actually run away from, the land of Assyria. And he never apologizes to God for the fact that he has actually run away from God. And it's actually in Jonah chapter 4 that we start to recognize the problem that Jonah actually had. And that was that he never wanted to speak to the people of Nineveh because he knew that God was a gracious God. And if God was a gracious God, he was going to look like a nincompoop for having told the world that their world was coming to an end. And he actually gets angry at God and tells God, I always knew that you are a long-suffering, loving God, and that's why I did not want to bring this message of doom. But the Lord in verse 4 of chapter 4 says, have you any right to be angry? It's a good question for us to ask. Why are we so angry? When you're looking at social media, when you're looking at the media itself, people are angry all the time. No matter what decision a government makes, we have people who are angry who get their faces on television. No matter what statement somebody makes on social media, there's always going to be trolls who are looking for ways to actually engage and harm because they have a difference of opinion. Difference of opinion is fine, but why do it with anger? And God is so interested in that he actually asks the question again in verse 9. Do you have a right to be angry? He asks. And the whole point of the book of Jonah focuses on one single question. Do you, the reader, know that God loves your enemy as much as he loves you? That is an important question to ask yourself, because it will actually change the way that you engage with the trolls on social media. It'll change the way in which you engage with any kind of story that comes your way. Do you have the right to be angry? First question. And then secondly, do you realize that God loves your enemy as much as he loves you? When you understand that, then you start to see the world through his eyes. And as you see the world through his eyes, you become his hands, his feet, to change the tone, the tenor of the conversation around you. May you bring grace to those conversations because you have learned the lesson that God loves your neighbor and your enemy as much as he loves you.